That's John. It's such a shift in mindset from the tagline in the dot-com startup era, and I was there in New York, which was world domination, right? That's what everyone, world domination, world domination. It was this very egotistic Web 2.0, VC wins, let's go dominate the market. And now, listen to the way you're talking, John. I mean, the John from 20 years ago would be like, who is this guy? He's like a guru somewhere, in India talking about let's all be one, which is strangely enough what we've been talking about on London Real for 10 years, is that, ultimately it's about a being of service, and that's how we all win. But to see that being embraced by, some of the highest valued companies in the world, it's definitely just strange that we're even having this conversation.
We're still all human beings and we want to win.
Right.
And I think I talked about this earlier, like some of the best teams I was on when I was a kid or in college, whatever, weren't the ones with the best players. So if we can figure out to create value for everyone, and I kind of do that every single day. Obviously, Gunn has this crazy rapid pace and he's got this fantastic vision. I've got to figure out a way to communicate that, to imbue that spirit and get people to at least go for it. And then each single person at Avalanche, by them being better, makes everyone else better. So again, it's like, it is somewhat self-serving in the end to make everyone else better because that makes me better.
Yeah, it's such because you want to win and then serve, but then also then be of service. It is.
That's how we hire. Like they could be very good, but if there's no altruistic bone or fiber in them, it's kind of like, oh, okay, like that's great, but like you may not be for us. Go back to Web 2.0.
That must be hard because the mentality on Wall Street in the city of London is quite the opposite. When I was trained at Bankers Trust, it was just kill or be killed, and the ruthless, and take as much P&L as you can out of the clients, and and it must be hard to find people that are willing to open their minds to a new way of thinking.
It's easier when the market and the TAM is growing. Okay. So you're thinking about creating new value. It's harder in the traditional world where the TAM is kind of set. So then, naturally, if you're a smart guy, you realize the pie is fixed. And if it's a fixed pie, it's a knife fight and I got to get my share. So I think, there's a lot of smart people coming here. There were smart people going to finance, but finance wasn't growing like the hyper growth world of crypto and blockchain. So when you're growing this fast, it's like in new products and new things and new methods and innovation at all levels is happening. You're thinking, how do I build off of other great things out there? How do I work with other people? I mean, again, like the composability of the space of open source technology forces people to actually think about working together. I mean, you talked about DAOs earlier, but one of the most fascinating things about Constitution DAO, it's not just that they almost won the replica of the Constitution, was that how quickly that whole thing was created. I think it was created in less than a week. And part of the reason why it was created so quickly was because they leveraged off of other existing, call it products. So they weren't even like builders, they were curators of existing projects. I mean, they used one project to be the legal construct for them. They used another project to do KYC AML, and therefore they can do everything and build the whole gizmo, if you will, in less than a week. There's no way in a traditional Web 2 world you can build the entire gizmo from ground zero, because you have to literally build the entire stack, and someone else in another monolithic area is building the entire stack. It's like, okay, you did that. Can I borrow it? Great. And they're like, well, you're doing that. Can I borrow that? And you both are moving faster.
And they almost bought the Constitution of the United States of America.
Almost.
It was it hundreds of millions? Something like that.
No. I think it was bought for 40 something million.
Okay.
And at that time, their token and their raise was about that much. But since then, it's taken a life of its own. It's actually worth more. So had they waited or started a little earlier, maybe they could have done it. But there's another point there. It's like, there's no other place where you can get access to customers and users as fast as you can in this space. That goes back to why Stani is talking to us. It goes back to why dApps or other projects are coming to first layers like Avalanche, because it's actually more important that you have access to customers and users than it is to get money. Money is actually very cheap, where interest rates are around the world. There's a lot of money out there. It's a scarcer resource to get access to a community.